Good morning and welcome to our platforms, nrpmediaja.com, also Facebook and YouTube at nrpmediaja. It's a Tuesday, December 12, 2023. I am Leon Nash with the NRP Break of Day newscast. Here are the headlines. Beryllium security vehicle and officers attacked in Manchester. 1 dead and a firearm recovered. MP for Central Manchester says the security police and JDF must be commended for their response time. Calls for government public education initiatives regarding constitutional reform. Calls for farmers and other middle players in lose conscience in pricing goods over the Christmas period. And in sport, 5-match T20 series between England and the West Indies begin in Barbados today. The news today comes to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. There are no boundaries, no limitations whatsoever. Celebrating 3 years since our inception, the NRP brand of radio and other social media platforms on NRP Media JA is your newest online platform accessible for the promotion of your church and community activities, along with news and sports related information. It's the platform you have been longing for. So call us today at 876-336-9928 or email us at nationalreligiousmedia@gmail.com.
NRP Media and Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
And now for the news in detail. One of approximately 8 gunmen who attacked a Beryllium security truck at Greyground in Manchester was last night shot dead, and 1 firearm reportedly recovered. This is the 3rd such attack on security vans in Manchester this year. Reports reaching our NRP News are that about 7 p.m. yesterday, a team of security guards were doing their regular pickup at the DNG depot at Greyground when gunshots rang out. It is reported that the Beryllium guards, having recognized that they were under attack, took evasive action and fired back. When the shooting ended, one of the men was found dead with multiple gunshots. It is further reported that during the shooting, the security guards abandoned their vehicle and it was taken by the gunmen. However, action by the police, the Beryllium vehicle being recovered. It is uncertain whether or not the gunmen made off with any cash. It is also unclear as to how many persons were shot in the incident. Sources told NRP News that the robbers breached a section of the perimeter fence before they launched their attack. Meanwhile, as the sound of gunfire rang out in the quiet Manchester community last night, that is in Greyground, Member of Parliament for Central Manchester, Rhoda Crawford, was quick on the scene.
I just spoke with the manager and some of the security personnel at the gate, and what I'm gathering is that the swift action of the security at the main gate, in that they responded by using the proper protocols to trigger, security backup. So once they had done what they needed to do, the police and the military got here quickly. What I'm very happy about is that no member of staff or any of the security personnel were injured in the attack.
And Ms. Crawford praised the security guards for their bravery and the police and soldiers for their quick action in recovering the stolen vehicle. She also called for residents in the area to be calm.
And I hope this sends a signal to those who are bent on creating mayhem in our constituency, in our parish, and in our country, that your end can be very fatal. I want to encourage the staff members, not to panic. One of the staff members here is actually the uncle of my little brother. So, it's very close to home. So I'm just appealing for calm. I'm appealing to those in the community to be calm. And I want to really commend the swift action of the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force assigned to this area, and also the security staff here for their bravery and very swift action.
That was Member of Parliament for Central Manchester, Rhoda Crawford. The People's National Party Junior Shadow spokesperson on justice, Shari Ann Henry, is urging the government to intensify the public education initiatives regarding constitutional reform. According to her, there is need for comprehensive understanding among citizens surrounding critical reforms proposed by the Constitutional Reform Committee (CRC). In a statement last evening, Ms. Henry said public education efforts must be escalated to ensure every citizen comprehends the potential impact of imposed or that should be of proposed changes on their lives and rights. In a recent panel discussion on constitutional reform's implications for justice and human rights in Jamaica, attorney at law Pauline Brown Rose stressed the importance of these educational sessions, noting their relevance to a populace unfamiliar with these concepts, often seen as elusive to the public. While acknowledging the government's ongoing town hall meetings initiated by the CRC, Ms. Henry echoed Senator Scott Motley's concern over poor attendance at these sessions. She said sensitizing Jamaicans about governmental proceedings is imperative to foster their understanding and involvement. And Ms. Henry expressed concerns about potential apathy rather, and disengagement resulting from limited conversations, and urged the government to find ways to engage the populace more, as according to her, constitutional reform demands broader public involvement, as engagement is crucial in shaping a well-informed citizenry and maintaining a healthy democratic society. You're tuned to news on NRP Radio. The time is 6:41. Visitors to the island using the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay should soon see improvements to the facilities on their arrival. This disclosure is made by senior strategist and advisor in the Ministry of Tourism, Delano Sivright, while speaking to journalists on the weekend. According to Mr. Sivright, a number of agencies and ministries have been working to address the issues at the airport to ensure speedier check-in and comfort for arriving passengers within the coming days. He says the agencies include the Passport and Citizens Agency, PICA, and the MBJ Airports Limited, Customs, and the Ministry of Tourism.
There was some difficulties at the Sangster International Airport Saturday night as it relates to runway lighting. Thankfully, they have been able to address it. Only 2 flights were disrupted. Those flights have now been cleared, and we expect the airport to have normal operations going forward.
I do apologize for the wrong insert there, and we move along nonetheless. And Mr. Steve Wright also addressed the concerns of tourists and players within the industry that there were too many frequent delays caused by congestion in towns across the island, but more specifically between Hanover and Negril in Westmoreland, as well as Ochues in St. Anne. Mr. Steve Wright says efforts are being made to address that in a meaningful way. Head of the traffic section of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Sergeant Albert Simpson, says the worrying trend of motorcyclists leading road fatalities continue. This follows a recent accident in the parish where one person, a biker, was killed in that crash. The deceased has been identified as 18-year-old Jay Senior of Ballards Valley District in the parish. He's the 33rd motor vehicle victim of the 29th motor vehicle crashes to have taken place in St. Elizabeth.
Motorcyclists accounted for 17 of those fatalities. I'm just asking motorists to be extremely careful on our roadways. Motorcyclists, we are encouraging you to wear your helmet and stay within the prescribed speed limit. Also, when you're traversing the road in St. Elizabeth, ensure that you follow all the road signs, obey the law, and it might save your life.
Head of the traffic section of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Sergeant Albert Simpson. In other news, the JAS President Leonard Fulton says he hopes conscience will prevail between what he calls the middleman and the consumers during the Christmas period. Speaking in an interview with NRP News, Mr. Fulton says, due to the onset of the last weather system and the losses incurred by farmers, an inescapable price increase will face the consuming public this Christmas. He, however, expressed the hope that farmers and higglers will find ways to cushion the level of increases meted out to the consuming public during the Christmas period.
I sincerely hope that conscience will prevail between our middlemen and consumers. And I would hope that our consumers would bargain before they buy and use volume to buy. If they're buying things in £10 or £15 weight, then they ask for discount because there's very little we can do at this time.
JS President Leonard Fulton, and Mr. Fulton is urging consumers to practice food conservation during the festive season.
We will have most of the vegetables, but not in the amount that we had last year, Christmas. And I know with proper conservation, you can still have a good Christmas by ensuring that you store properly, you don't waste the product, you don't buy things like sorrel and just put it down and let it rot. You treat with it immediately and get your drinks from it and so on. So I do know that the consumers will be in for a very rough period for this festive season, but it is not the fault of our farmers. It is the fault of condition beyond our control.
That was JAS President Leonard Fulton. Minister of Education and Youth, Favour Williams, has strongly condemned the unacceptable behavior of students from the Mona High School and their supporters who reportedly stormed the Jamaica College campus yesterday morning while celebrating their weekend Manning Cup football victory. Reports are that students and supporters from Mona High went on to a victory march from their school campus to Ligani as they celebrated their first hold on the Manning Cup, the symbol of football supremacy among corporate high schools. On their way back, a group reportedly broke away from the main march and stormed the Jamaica College compound on Old Hope Road, disrupting classes amid loud shouts and simulations of gunshots being fired. Minister Williams noted that while it is understandable that passion and emotions will run high as a part of inter-school competition, students and their supporters should demonstrate respect for themselves and competitors at all times. She reminded that good sportsmanship takes place not only on the field, but also how we interact with our competitors on the roads and in all arenas. You're listening to news on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitation. And now let's give you some sporting information brought to you courtesy of Hepburn's Glass. They are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 9080962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass, quality service is our priority.
now for our sports stories. On cricket, West Indies and England are set to tackle each other in a five-match T20 series that begins in Barbados today. This follows the just concluded matchup on the weekend where West Indies defeated the English and took the ODI series 2-1, making it the first home series win over England in the format since 1998. Meanwhile, in the female category, England beat India by 4 wickets to seal a T20 series win after a dismal batting performance from the hosts at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai on Saturday. India were bowled out for just 80 in 16.2 overs, with only Remima Rodriguez, 30, offering only resistance, or that should be any resistance. A superb all-round bowling effort saw every England bowler take a wicket with 4, claiming 2. England made hard work of the chase, losing 6 wickets before eventually winning inside 11.2 overs. Finally, on athletics, Great Britain's Abby Donnelly came third in the senior women's race at the European Cross Country Championships in Belgium on Sunday. Norway's Caroline Gravdal came first, while Italy's Nadia Battocletti overtook Donnelly late to claim second. Britain's Megan Keith and Inez Fitzgerald both won their respective women's under-23 and under-20 races. Compatriot Will Barnicoat won the men's under-23 race, with teammate Matthew Stonia third. There was also a bronze medal for Great Britain and North Ireland in the mixed relay. Overall, there were 7 victories for Great Britain as the senior women's team, under-23 men's and women's teams, and under-20 women's team also claimed gold. That's sports in our NRP Break of Day newscast, brought to you by Hepburn's Glass. They are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 908-0962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn quality service is our priority.
We promise to bring you a good news story as often as we can. If you know of or are aware of any event or person's good story we should highlight, please send this information to our email address at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com or call 876-336-9928. That's the local news and sports. Stand by now for the latest international news courtesy of the Voice of America.
This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. UN Security Council envoys spoke of suffering and urged an end to the war in Gaza Strip on Monday as they visited the Egyptian side of Rafah border crossing, the besieged Palestinian enclave's only entry point for aid.
This is really a tragedy, and it has been too long. We have suffered too much.
China's representative to the United Nations, Zhang Jun, a majority of UN member states support an immediate and lasting ceasefire between Israel and the U.S.-designated terrorist Palestinian militant group Hamas, which controls Gaza. A vote expected later at the council today. Israel's defense minister pushed back against international calls to wrap up the country's military offensive in the Gaza Strip, saying the current phase of the operation against the Hamas militant group will take time. In a briefing with the Associated Press, the Yoav Gallant refused to commit to any firm deadlines, but he signaled the current phase could stretch on for weeks and that further military activity could continue for months to come. The president of Ukraine visits Capitol Hill and the White House today.
The aid package would be for Ukraine, Israel, and other national security needs. But Republicans are insisting on strict U.S.-Mexico border security changes in exchange for that aid. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet privately with senators and new House Speaker Mike Johnson, then talk with Biden at the White House. Yesterday, he met the International Month, where he received promises from Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva.
We will continue to work closely with Ukraine, and we will continue to call on those who support Ukraine to remain steadfast in their financial support.
That's AP's Donna Warder reporting. This is VOA News.
Thank you very much for listening there to the latest from the Voice of America, our international partner. Now for the weather report and the forecast coming your way right here on NRP Radio. Reminding you that we broadcast 365 days per year and 24 hours per day. The weather is up next. The National Met Service is reporting that there is a significant feature of a trough and low-level jet stream across Jamaica. The trough and low-level jet stream are expected to remain across the island over the next few days. Expect windy conditions to persist, especially along the south coast. In the 24-hour forecast this morning, expect isolated showers across sections of northeastern parishes, otherwise partly cloudy. This afternoon, isolated showers are expected across hilly areas and sections of southern parishes, windy along the south coast. In the 3-day forecast after today, Wednesday and Thursday, partly cloudy in the morning with isolated showers across north central and eastern parishes, becoming cloudy with afternoon showers and possible thunderstorms across sections of southern parishes. It will also be windy. On Friday, expect cloudy afternoon showers with showers and isolated thunderstorms mainly across sections of central and western parishes. A cold front is also across western Cuba, and there's an area of low pressure that is across Panama at this time. That is the latest report, weather report, and forecast right here on NRP Radio. And with that, we've come to the end of our news presentation for this morning. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. Beryllium security vehicle and officers attacked in Manchester. 1 dead and a firearm recovered. And Manchester says the security, police, and the JDF must be commended for their response time to the beryllium attack. Calls for government to intensify public education initiatives regarding constitutional reform. And farmers and other middle players in agriculture called upon to use conscience in pricing goods over the Christmas period. And in sport, 5-match T20 series between England and the West Indies begin in Barbados today. The full package of news today came to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitation. Here is your invitation to join us again this evening at 6:30 for the NRP Evening News. I am Leon Nash for NRP News. Have a good rest of your morning. Drive with other road users in mind and for your own and family sake. Please stay as safe as you can. This has been news on your station. Invite by for Let the Word Speak with Reverend Paul Blair. And the word of God in Luke 1:46-47 says, "My soul praises the Lord. My heart rejoices in God, my Savior." This is NRP Media and Radio. The time is 7 a.m.